What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? I hope you're having a great morning. The market's not having a great day right now. Iran, Iraq, Israel, it's all starting to bubble up. Do we see some finality, some resolution to it? I don't know. Last night, Donald Trump told Tehran to evacuate, and the citizens of Tehran started to evacuate the city, knowing that what could be coming next would be, I don't know, lightning and thunder, fire and whatever, whatever important be scared of Israel thing that you think that I just said, that's exactly what I said. So, I don't know how this ends, but it has caused a little bit of stress in the markets. This is the potential for a full-blown war in the Middle East, where people are going to be forced to choose sides. So it's a scary time. However, your flight away from fiat currency that the world is governed by right now is digital asset, and it protects you. You leave Tehran, you don't have to take your gold, you don't have to take your jewelry, you don't have to bag up your bank, you don't have to hide things and tuck things into your clothing, stuff like that. It's digital assets. All you have to do is go somewhere else. Your money is available to you. So this, when you see war times like this, yeah, you know that digital currency is the future of everything. And that's not to make light of the situation, but we should address at least what we're here to talk about, and that is what's going on. Hey, by the way, hit the like button on your way in. And yesterday, somebody came into my chat and they said, I don't know what pump you're talking about. There's no pump, there's just scam tokens, and nobody does anything with this thing. And that's the way they talk in my brain, because I think they've got an extra chromosome, because they probably walk like this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know. Anyway, let's check it out. So it's not really pumping and doing anything right now. Is up 17%, in fact. If you didn't sell the top and then make the move to accumulate more, that's because you suck as an investor, not because the project didn't pump. That's science, bro. So if you didn't take any profit when you got a 17% spike, you didn't buy when there was a dip, and you see it, like, duh, what are you, an idiot? You see, I told you right here, this is your spot. And guess what? It goes up here to the top. Guess what? That's your spot. Guess what? It did exactly what it was supposed to do at that spot, and you didn't do anything about it. That's on you, boo-boo. Maybe you should stop sucking at trading. Maybe you should become better. Maybe you should figure out for yourself what's going on in these patterns and learn how to make money off of the movements. Duh. And in fact, with a 1.5% burn tax, that means that your profit margin could have been as high as 13, 14% in a short period of time, which means if you had 10 million Luna Classic, you now have 11 million Luna Classic. If you had 50 million, now you have, 55 million. Whoa. So you're getting better and improving over time? Duh, you don't say. Okay, so when the pump happens and when they happen, you're like, it doesn't pump. You suck at investing, and that's okay. You've sucked at everything else in your life. Par for the course. So anyway, let's talk about what's really going on in the market. And by the way, if you're going to cry in my comment section, be prepared to fry in my videos. All right, so before we get started, Terra Casino, this is your place to go for all your risk-based gaming. 2 winners have been selected to receive 100 each. We're going to announce that in the chats, in the comments from the last couple of videos, and giving away $1 million plus from June 3rd to June 17th, ending today. We got Madness over here ending on June 29th for 11,000. We've got 125,000 euros up through June 29. We've got a big tournament getting ready to start, the Poker Knockout League, 1.126 million from June 20th to August 17th being given away. Be a winner. Be a winner. All you have to do is try. That's really all it comes down to. And we're going to announce some more contests very, very soon. Sign up in the description down below, and you're going to get an opportunity, and it's going to be awesome. And if you're trading meme coins, or if you're trading stuff, and by the way, if you're trading it and it's not going up, but it actually is higher in price, then you would use terraport.finance in order to do that. Write that down. You might need to give it to somebody later. Terraport.finance is where you go in order to trade these meme coins. So, or if you want utility coins, you've got Juris, you've got Garuda X, you've got several of them out there that are going to help you and move you along in your crypto journey. Commonwealth has a conversation going on about Luna X, the algorithmic floor coin. And it's interesting what I'm reading so far. And so what it's telling you is Luna X isn't a stable coin, it's a floor coin, a non-pegged, algorithmically governed asset backed by a rising mint cost and a treasury-supported floor built entirely around luck. Instead of promising a fixed price, it builds value by design using luck-based tunnels, a fixed daily issuance limit, and a smart sell tax that recycle value into floor defense. Now, when it comes to taxing these projects at the penalty of the investor, they don't tend to work very well. So I'm not sure that this is going to be the path that we're going to use going forward. I'm not sure that it's going to work. Now, has an aggressive cost curve, 2% every 3 days. Now, it really, what this would come down to is just to give you an example, if there is an aggressive cost curve, then why am I going to buy? Okay, if there's a price appreciation that's guaranteed, why am I going to sell? So there are some things that will need to work out about this. I don't know if it sees, some of this doesn't make enough sense to me for it to work, but let's look at it and let's get an idea of what it is. And by the way, go read this, and as we get through what we're doing, we'll kind of figure out whether or not this is something that we come back to or not. Right now, just a little bit of a discussion. There's no proposals. As far as price action goes, like I told you guys the other day when we were sitting down here at 54, that we were going to have a surge. Now, the question at that point was, would we surge up to this range up here? Well, eventually, yeah, but it looks like this is really getting tight, okay? Now, when I look at it from this context, and let's start to remove a little bit of this and, clean up just a tad and say, what are we looking for as a next move? We look at Bollinger Band getting very tight, which means there's a move coming. Now, let's take it a step further. Why is there a move coming? Well, the Fed is meeting. FOMC starts today. Tomorrow is going to be the announcement. It'll be the announcement on whether there will be rate cuts in the United States, with the United States being incentivized for big rate cuts coming in. The reason for those rate cuts, because the U.S. has to refinance its debt. Now, if Jerome Powell and the Fed don't do something about it, then the United States could be in serious trouble financially going forward. So there's a lot of nervous sentiment in the markets right now and in the world concerning the United States, despite the fact that we are the world leader financially. So I think that it's in the best interest, or at least in my opinion, the best interest of the United States is to get that number drawn down just a little bit, because it seems like there could be a problem, a real problem, if we don't address some of this financial problem, corruption, call it what you will. Also, when we look at it from this, let's move this in just a little bit tighter here. You can see we broke out over here, didn't get a successful breakout, but we seem to be bouncing off of this area. Now, take this down here at the bottom, do the same thing, and look at this. It's just kind of playing out pretty perfect right now. Now, I would prefer to see this right here, because it looks like there's more points of contact. Makes me feel a little bit more, and you can see like it just kind of surged up and down. But what you're noticing is a definite tightening into the range, into this little right there. And then the question is, are we going up or are we going down? Well, short term, there's always a possibility of downward momentum. We are right here where you could see just a catastrophic sort of collapse based on what's going on in the market. But the most likely scenario, because of this, and we're going to zoom out just a little bit, and then we're going to pop this up on the screen so that you guys can see it, because it's clear as day. We are in a continuation of a massive inflow of money coming into the markets. You saw that previous spike. Now you see this kind of playing out right here, and we're going sideways a little bit. It is only a matter of time before that explosive move starts to happen. Now, the reason that that's not happened for Luna Classic is we have to be honest. At this point, we're about a third tier project. There is your prime top tier, your top 10, top 20, then there's the rest of the top 100, and then everything else is, in my opinion, basically tier 3. And we're at tier 3 right now, which means that we need a blow-off in order to start attracting value. Now, if you continue to build, value will be attracted. But let me just point out something very, very important, and I want you guys to just be very clear, okay? I'm going to show you something right now. It's not going to be Luna Classic, but it is going to be a project that I think is important in the ecosystem, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you the chart, and I'm going to tell you that this is probably one of the most bullish projects in all of crypto. And look where it is right now, which is why I'm not concerned about Luna Classic. This right here, this is Avalanche. Now, if you have not been paying attention, MapleStory, some of major video games have created their own layer ones on Avalanche over the last little while. Okay, there's a lot of value being created for Avalanche, the company and the blockchain. And each one of these blockchains is allowed to create their own sovereign blockchain using their own layer one token. You can build on the Avalanche network, and it makes perfect sense. But look at the price, okay? Look at the price. And this is, again, this is one of the most bullish from a business analysis technical standpoint, one of the most bullish companies on the planet at earning money, stuff like that, in crypto, I should say. And look at the price, okay? Not that long ago, $64. Like, it was absolutely blowing up. And guess what? Just was not sustained. It just was not sustained. We didn't get that big move, and look, here we are. And by the way, again, this was a big one. So now, are you bullish? Well, look at Solana. Same thing is playing out. Not the high over here was not as high as the other one. It seems like it's in an upward trajectory, while the Avalanche looked like it was in kind of a downward sort of trajectory. But the point to it all is it's down as well. And we consider that to be an incredibly valuable asset. And look at this. This is Ethereum. It's all happening the same way. Now, the anomaly is Bitcoin. That's an anomaly. That's not a normalcy in this market right now. So when you hear these people talking and they say stupid stuff, when you hear them like, it's over, bro, or whatever they say, know that they have no idea what they're talking about. And even if you come, and by the way, this is important. If you look at XRP and you're like, well, look at XRP absolutely broke out and absolutely went bonkers and absolutely, oh, wait, XRP only went as high as it was in, what year was that? Oh, 2018. Okay. So XRP hasn't seen prices like this in 7 years, and it's not higher. It's as high as it was 7 years ago. Like, if you're looking at this and you're not understanding that crypto has not broken out like it should, you're stupid. Okay? There's no other way to put it. You should stop eating paste, okay, because it's not helping you. So anyway, there we have it. Like, it's very, very simple. So get bullish on Terra Luna Classic. You're going to be rewarded. It's just a matter of time at this point before we really get that reversal. Even on a day like today, where some of these projects are down just a little bit. Luna Classic's only down a little bit. USTC had that big pump. I told you what this was, by the way. I told you this was basically they're sweeping the bears. And by the way, how do I know that they're sweeping the bears? Well, let's go to a one-day chart here, because now I got to call you be like dumb. What are you talking about? Like, any idea? Well, why did they sweep the bears out? Because they swept the bulls out the day before, dumb. Like, this is what they're doing. And by the way, this means that it's going to be easier, whatever direction we go. It's going to be easier because we've already swept out a bunch of people who took positions. Now the sellers it's less attractive to sell because you've already done it and you've already wiped them out. Same thing down here, the new buyer stepping in or wanting to step in down at this level. You're fulfilling orders. So the futures are being attacked. And when the futures are being attacked, what is the next move in that regard? Well, when you see these gigantic candles that were happening, and by the way, gigantic candles that were happening, you see the gigantic candles that were happening back here, up and down and up and down. What did that lead to? That led to this breakout over here. What do you think is getting ready to happen? Well, looks to me like there's going to be a breakout getting ready to happen. And the question is, how far or where is it going to go? Now, right now, I've got this tightened sort of range. But if we loosen it up and say, well, could break out a little bit more. So we just move that up towards the top over here. And then, boom, we look at it. And we got a little bit of sky available for us getting up to this 407, which I think is going to be the next sort of massive sell-off level. So I would see another spike in the next day or two, boom, maybe next 3-4 days. It just, depends on the Fed. It really depends on the U.S. Fed. But there is a breakout getting ready to happen. I guarantee it. The money flow is here. No matter what you think of, say, technical analysis or anything like that, the money is flowing into assets. The money just continues to flood into risk-based assets. Look at this right here. Like, you're looking at it literally playing out real time. You're looking at it literally playing out real time. You're looking at it literally playing out real time. You're looking at it playing out real time. You're looking at it playing out real time, okay? It's very, very simple. All you have to do is keep following the money, right? Just follow the money, and guess what? It's going to get absolutely bonkers. When we zoom this in, we start to look at it from this sort of standpoint where we say, well, you know, let's touch the bottom to the top and see where it's going. Look how big this breakout is over here. This is what's coming next. This is the next big move, okay? And by the way, look at this. We're not perfect, but we're playing out pretty tight to the range that we're going through right now. So, you know, when you look at it, and by the way, remember, some sentiment is different, but I mean, again, this is 4.4 trillion market cap or something. Like, we are going so much higher. And by the way, if we're zooming around and we're looking at it, well, we had this kind of move right here. We're consolidating in the range exactly like it said right here that we were going to do. And the next move is this. Okay, so, you know, we're headed up. Don't get it twisted. Get in where you fit in, and all that stupid shit that guy from wrestling says. All right, volume still continues, a little bit of an increase. Volume decreasing on USTC dramatically. A lot of volume dropped over there, but we're not really worried about that. What we are worried about is this right here. By the way, this head and shoulders pattern here is just ridiculous. However, it is probably going to play out because, again, the majority, we're in the cut right now of a breakout, and the market is going to allow that breakout. So there will be a breakout. You know, it's just, and I don't like I don't like seeing people get rewarded for something that's not really like that's not exactly, this is not even close to the head and shoulder pattern sort of playing out. Like, that is just, come on. Like, we see it, right? That's not even, it's not even, okay? So, now, check this out. So, FYI, Lunk APR on Kepler is 2.8, while it's at 6.83 on Validator Info. Thanks to KZI for pointing out the issue. I've already reported this issue. Kepler team will check their calculation and update soon. So, if you're staking and getting rewarded for anything, then you might have a question about that. Burns 220 million. Nothing really of note to talk about in relation to Burns. And why is that? Well, the market is right now going through some things because it's pricing in a potential for war. It's pricing in a potential for a Fed rate cut. It's pricing in a lot of different things right now, waiting to see what's going to happen. Now, there's no call at this point for a rate cut in the United States. So, you know, we could be looking at business as usual, but the reality is Trump has been pushing and fighting with the Fed right now to do something and to help him help this economy. And despite the fact that they've been difficult and obstinate at this point, there might be a period right here coming up very, very soon where they're like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. We should be doing something. And hopefully they will. So, guys, I think you're going to be in good shape. I think it's only a matter of time before we have another. And by the way, don't forget, when we zoom in and we get granular right here, this is a pretty big dip that the money flow went through right in that range right there. So I do want to point that out because I think that you should be nervous about the potential for another drastic dip. But I also think that we probably got it already. So I think we're getting ready for a big move. And that's going to be Bitcoin. And that's going to be 124,096 Bitcoin, which is going to lead to Luna Classic having a breakout as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, you can also let me know. But if you start laughing and if you start doing things like, oh my God, I'm just scam and everything is not open, don't know what the pump is, or anything like that, which is how you sound when you say stupid shit in my head, if you make those comments, you're coming on the show in order to be clowned, okay? So grab your grease paint if you're going to leave that comment. And remember, it's not financial advice. Always right.